Yesterday we were solving this problem where we were to find out the centroid of this 1D skeletal member with reference to the origin as shown. So let us go ahead with this. Have you solved this problem, Shashank?
No, sir, not yet. Actually, I am suffering from fever, sir, from last 2 days.
Okay, so are you in a position to talk or should I call someone else?
Did, but I had some difficulties figuring it out.
But we had already listed out xi or yi, right? So you had to
Yes.
just do li xi and li yi. So what was exactly the difficulty?
Sir, I looked at the problem and I didn't really understand what I was supposed to do, but I'll look into it again further.
Okay. No, I still didn't get what is exactly the problem.
It was actually I wasn't able to understand what the L3 and L4 were, but I can watch the recorded lecture again to figure it out.
Okay, so let us complete this calculation first, which I will explain that, and from next problem onwards, let us have interaction. You keep yourself unmuted. So this
Yes,
is L1. We had already located the x coordinate of centroid of L1 from O, and that is 1.75, and y coordinate is 1. So what I have done is I have just taken summation Li xi from this, summation Li yi from this, summation Li xi turns out to be 13.175. and summation LIYI turns out to be 14.95, whereas summation of lengths of all the members turns out to be 7.1. So x coordinate of centroid of this wire structure turns out to be plus 1.855 and y coordinate turns out to be plus 2.105. How did I obtain this? It is summation Li xi upon summation Li is x coordinate. Summation Li yi upon summation Li is y coordinate. Are you with me?
yes, sir.
As both the values are positive, therefore, with reference to O, the centroid lies on the right hand side and up. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So this has this has been done. Has anyone solved this problem? If you have, then please confirm if you are getting the same answers. You can unmute and tell. Okay, so that is worrisome if no one has solved. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, if anyone has solved.
Yes, sir, I am getting same.
Okay, great. So let us go to the next problem now. Kunal, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us have a look at this wire structure. We have to locate its centroid with reference to C, this point as given. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this is composed of a straight wire here, portion AB. Portion BC is a arc of circle. How do I know that? Because R1 is given here, R2 is R1 is given here. So R1, both the radii are same. So that means it has to be a circle. Are you with me?
Yes.
And the angle subtended by these two radius vectors at the center is 30 degree. So it is not neither a quarter circle nor a half circle nor a full circle. It is sector of circle. Do you agree with me? So
Yes, sir.
this wire lies along the sector of circle, or it is a part of part of a circle, circular arc. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And then you have another circle. This wire has been wire has been bent into a semicircle here. So part DC is a semicircle. Are you with me?
Yes.
Because the angle subtended by the radii vector with reference to origin is 180 degree. So therefore it is ought to be a semicircle. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And we have to now look, and its radius is given as 30 mm. So we have to locate the centroid with reference to C. Happy?
Yes.
So what I have done is I have drawn the same figure at C. I have marked positive x-axis and positive y-axis. C is going to be now our origin, or it is the point with reference to which we are going to mark the radii. Are you with me?
Yes.
We are going to mark the centroid. So chalo. So what do? We we have to calculate lengths of all portions. So I'm going to split it into three parts: AB, straight line portion; BC, along the arc, it is a arc of a circle; and portion CD, it is semicircle. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
These are the portions. So how do we calculate the length? So AB is easy. It is given 300 mm. So I'm going
Yes.
to write down this Li in mm here. For AB, it is 300. Happy?
Yes.
Oh. For BC, how much is it? So if you consider the angle of 360 degree, it will correspond to the perimeter of the full circle. What is perimeter of full circle? Tell me. 2 pi r.
2 pi r, yes.
So it is 2 times pi times 100. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So therefore, the entire circle corresponds to perimeter 2 pi 100. So 30 corresponds to how much? Are you with me?
Yes.
It is going to be 30 divided by 360 into 2 pi into 100. कितना आया बोलो?
Yes. 1 second, sir. $52.33.
52.33.
33.
Are you with me?
Yes.
This is one way of doing this. Another way of doing this is S is equal to R theta. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So we will do the calculation by that as well. So if I use S is equal to R theta, what is theta? Tell me.
30. But you have to
What?
convert it to radian.
Correct. So 30 by 180 into pi. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And how much is R? 100. So do this on your calculator and tell me how much is that.
52.33.
So either of the ways you can adopt, and you can write this as 52.33. Are you with me?
Yes.
Chalo. What is the next? Length CD. How do you calculate length CD? It is half the perimeter.
Pi r.
It is going to be equal to pi r. But what is r here? R is 30. So it is
30.
pi into 30. Are you with me?
94.2.
So it is 94.2
2.
mm. So we have calculated Li for all the windows. Now let us calculate distance of their centroids from the origin that we have chosen. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me how much will be this angle? How much will be this angle? I will call it as alpha. Are you with me?
Yes.
So for that, what I am going to do is I am going to bisect this angle 30 degrees. So how much is that? Tell me.
15.
So this angle is 15 degree. Happy?
Yes.
15 degree. Chalo. Now, this line line BA is along the tangent drawn at B. Do you agree with me? The way
Yes.
it has been drawn, it is along the tangent. Happy?
Yes.
Now, this radius vector has to be perpendicular to the tangent. ये दिख नहीं रहा है, but you have to understand that it is 90 degree.
Yes.
Happy? Chalo. Now, the angle between this radius vector and horizontal is 15 degree. Happy?
Yes. Yeah.
So therefore, angle between perpendicular drawn to this radius vector and perpendicular drawn to horizontal, that is vertical, this has to be 15 degree. Do you agree with
Yeah.
me?
Yes.
So therefore, what is alpha? 65 degree.
Yes.
I have not drawn it properly, but you will understand from geometry. ये angle अगर 90 degree है, the angle between the perpendiculars of lines is same as angle between the lines. So radius vector and horizontal के बीच में angle 15 degree. Are you with me? So
Yes, sir.
horizontal को perpendicular vertical, and radius vector को perpendicular tangent, इनके बीच में भी angle 15 degree होना चाहिए. If that is true, then this alpha is ought to be 65 degree. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me what is length BA?
It's 300.
Yes,
Given.
length BA is 300. So therefore, what is the value of means what we have to locate now? We have to locate the centroid of this length BA with reference to point C.
Yes.
But is C line just above point B, just below point?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So B and C, they lie along the same line drawn parallel to y-axis. Are you with me?
Yes.
So therefore, with reference to B, if I locate horizontal distance of centroid of BA, that is xi. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So let me locate that. So where is it? This is the half distance. It is at the half distance. So this is 150. Happy?
Yes.
And 150 cos of 65. Are you with me?
Yes.
Is going to be the horizontal distance of this centroid from B. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And that is its distance from C, horizontal distance.
Yes.
So can I write this as 150 cos of 15 degree? Are you with me?
Yes.
इसमें कोई problem नहीं है?
No.
Okay, let us go ahead now. What about yi? So for that, what will I have to do? I have to find out the distance of bolo.
C to B.
Centroid
Okay.
of
Right.
from C,
Right.
vertical distance. अब जरा मुझे बताओ, how much is length BC? Not curved length, straight length BC. Are you with me? Or I will call it as chord, length of chord BC. Are you with me?
Yes.
So can I calculate length of chord BC? How do I do that? So I know R, this angle is 15 degree. So therefore it is going to be R sine 15. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So it is 100 sine 15 into 2. देखो यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट करके दिखाता हूँ. This is BC. Are you with me?
Yes.
This angle is 15 degree. This is 15 degree. I am interested in finding out the vertical distance between point B and C. This distance. Now consider this right angle triangle. Are you with me?
Yes.
So from this right angle triangle, how much is this distance? R sine 15. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes.
How much is this distance? This is also R sine 15.
Yes. So 2 times
What is
R
total
sine.
distance? R sine 15 into 2. 100 sine 15 into 2. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
And in that, I will have to add 150 sine 15.
Yes.
That will give me the vertical distance of centroid of AB with reference to C. Happy?
Yes.
So what should I write here? It is going to be 2 times 100 sine 15 plus 150 sine 15. Are you with me?
Yes.
And both these are going to be positive. Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote it at wrong place. It is yi. Are you with me?
Yes.
And both are going to be positive because xi is towards right with reference to C and yi is up with reference to C. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So this is that. Now let us look at portion BC. Where does the centroid of portion? Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Achha, okay. So I heard some noise, so I thought there is a doubt. Where does the centroid of portion BC lie? So portion BC is nothing but arc of a circle. So we are going to look at the list of formulae that is given here. So whenever you see this shading, that corresponds to the centroid of laminae. Are you with me?
Yes.
But we are not talking about the lamina now. We are talking about the wires. So you have to look at this formulation. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So along the arc of circle means we are going to refer this figure. Are you with me?
Yes.
And where is the centroid? So the centroid lies along the line bisecting this angle, subtended by radii vector with centroid. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
इसके along lie होता है. And where does it lie? So इसका x bar मतलब यहां से x bar का distance कितना दिया है बोलो?
R sin alpha.
Sin alpha upon alpha, where alpha has to be expressed in radians. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Needless to say, it has to be substituted in radians. So r sin alpha upon alpha is the location of x bar from center of the circle along the line bisecting the angle subtended by radii vector. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
तो चलो यहाँ पे आते हैं. So line bisecting the angle is this one. Are you with me?
Yes.
And as per the formula given, x bar will be computed from center of the circle. Happy?
Yes.
So the centroid of this is given from this side. I hope you are able to understand this. So I will
Yes.
draw it here. This is BC. Happy?
Yes, sir.
और centroid का जो formula हम use कर रहे हैं, that centroid is given from this center of the circle. Center of the circle. Are you with me?
Yes.
And how much is that? What is the formula given? R sin alpha upon alpha. So I will write down that R sin alpha. So R is 100. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
100 sin 30. Now, mind you, I have to express it in radians, but sin 30 in your calculator, if you are putting it in degree mode, then substitute it in degree. Are you with me?
Okay.
So when you are calculating this, you have to use the calculator in degree mode. Happy?
Yes.
But while in the denominator, when you substitute alpha, I have to substitute it as 30 into pi by 180. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me how much is this quantity? 100
Yes.
sin 30 divided by, in bracket, 30 into pi by 180.
Yes, sir.
Bracket.
1 second. $95.60.
95.6. What is
60.
the check is it has to be less than 100 mm.
Yes.
Are you with me? It has to be less than 100 mm because 100 mm is the radius. So
Yes,
this is
sir.
95.60 mm. Now the question is, this is with reference to the center that I have drawn here. Are you with me? Center of the circle.
Yes, sir.
I have to write down the coordinate of its centroid with reference to point. Which point? Point C, which is here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, how much is this distance? Isn't it R cos 15?
Yes.
Because this angle is 15 degree. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me how much is R cos 15?
1 second.
R is 100.
96.5.
How much?
96.5.
नहीं गड़बड़ हो रहा है कुछ तो.
Yes, sir. It's 96.5.
96.5. 1 minute. Okay, so that means no problem. That means this sketch that I have drawn is incorrect. This point should lie ahead of 95.6. Are you with me? So I will write it 96. Nevertheless, I will write it as 96.5. But the actual sketch is going to be like this. देखो. This is the point that we are going. Sorry. This is the centroid. Centroid lies at the distance 95.6. Happy?
Yes.
And this point is at distance 96.5. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So that means I have to locate the centroid with reference to this point C. Just give me a minute. With reference to this point C. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And as this is 95.6, therefore this centroid lies on the right hand side of C. Happy?
Yes.
And how much is the distance? 96.5 minus 95.6. Happy? 96.5 minus 95.6 is going to be its x coordinate. Is going to be xi. So how much is that? Tell me.
0.9.
0.9. I think I have written it again at wrong place. It is xi, not yi. So just give me a minute. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go ahead. What is yi? So as I already said, the yi lies on the line bisecting the angle subtended by radii vector. So this is yi. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And how do I calculate that? That is easy. It is r sine 15. Happy?
Yes.
Have we calculated r sine 15 already? No, not.
Yes.
No. So we will simply write it as 100 sine 15. Happy?
Yes.
And it is above C. Therefore, it is going to be positive. I hope you have understood this.
Yes.
Right? Now let us work for portion CD. So CD is a half circle, semicircle. Agreed?
Yes.
So I am going to draw this. This is CD, portion CD. This is C. No, let us draw it to a better resolution. 1 minute. This is portion C, CD. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, chalo. What is the angle made by this this diameter with reference to horizontal? Bolo.
15.
It is same as the angle made by this radius vector with horizontal. So is it going to be 15 degree?
Yes.
So can I write this angle as 15 degree? Happy?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now, where does the centroid of semicircle lie? Mind you, you have to understand the centroid always lies on the axis of symmetry if the member has any. So we have this as an axis of symmetry. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So centroid is going to lie along this line for sure. Happy?
Yes.
Where does it lie? So let us go back to the formulation here. So this is the semicircle. Where does the centroid lie? So y bar should be given here. Are you with me?
Yes.
That y bar is 2r by pi. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So 2r by pi is the distance from this point where the centroid lies. Happy?
Yes.
So that distance I'm going to calculate and I'm going to write it as 2 times now r of this. So what is r of this 30 mm?
30.
Are you with me? 2r by pi, right?
Yes.
Look at the formula 2r by pi. Yes. So this divided by 3.14. Tell me how much is this distance?
19.108.
So this is 19.108 mm. Happy?
Yes.
Distance. Now with reference to C, I have to locate this centroid. Happy?
Yes.
So how do I do that? This distance is 19.5. Now the angle made by CD with reference to horizontal is 15. So angle made by perpendicular to CD with perpendicular to horizontal, that is vertical, is also going to be 15. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
This angle is 15 degree. Happy?
Yes.
Now tell me, what is the x component? What is the x component of this distance? X component is going to be 19.108
Cos
multiplied
15.
by sine 15.
All right.
Horizontal component, I am saying.
Right. Right.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the horizontal component of this distance? R
30
R
cos
cos
15.
15.
Yes.
Do you agree
Yes.
with me? So R is
Yes. Yes.
30 cos 15. Happy?
Yes.
So now from this 30 cos 15, which is the horizontal component of this distance, this component, if I subtract the horizontal component of this distance, are you getting me? I get the
Yes.
distance between point C and this point. Happy?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, so क्या करना पड़ेगा 30 cos 15 minus 19.108 sin 15. ये कितना आ रहा है बताओ? How much is
1
that?
second. $24.03.
24.03
03.
mm. Right?
Yes.
There is some echo. Apart from you, is anybody else keeping mic on? No. Okay. So now let's go ahead. 24.03 mm. Now this 24.03 mm is on left hand side of C. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So therefore I must give negative sign to this. So this is going to be minus 24.03. Happy?
Yes.
Now I need to calculate y coordinate of the centroid. So y coordinate of the centroid is nothing but vertical component of this distance. Happy?
Yes.
Plus vertical component of this radius. So this distance I have to add in this distance. Dekho. Are you with me?
Yes.
That gives me the vertical distance of the centroid from C.
Yes.
Are you with me? Dekho,
Yes,
this
sir.
distance plus this distance. These two distances, if I add up, that gives me the vertical distance of this point, that is centroid from C. So how much is this distance? Tell me. It is R sin 15. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So R sin 50 matlab kitna? 30 sin 15. And how much is this distance? So it is 19.108 happy
Yes.
cos 15. Happy?
Yes.
So add these two distances. How much is it?
26.17.
26.17.
17.
I request all others to please mute themselves. 26.17. Chalo. So now this is below point C, right?
Yes.
So therefore I should write it as minus. So minus 26.17. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now let us write down xi li here. Xi into li. Happy?
Yes.
So tell me 300 into 150 cos 15. How much is it?
1 second.
Yes, Kunal.
Yes, sir. 1 second. 43,425.
43,425.
425.
Point?
No.
No. So this is in what unit? This is in mm square. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Chalo. Now do the calculation of 52.33 into 0.9.
47.097.
47.09. Now let us do the calculation. 94.2 minus into minus 24.03.
Minus 2,263.6. 263.
2,203.6. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now let us do summation. Let us do LIYI. Happy?
Yes.
So LIYI, I am going to have three terms. Let me do that. So how do I do LIYI? 300 into, first calculate this, 2 into 100 sine 15 plus 150 sine 15. Tell me how much is that?
Yes, sir.
This is equal to
90.3.
90.3.
3.
So 90.3 multiplied by 300. How much is that?
27,090.
27,090. Happy?
Yes.
This is also in mm square. Now, next, 52.33 into 100 sine 15.
Yes, sir. 1,350.1.
1,350.1.
50.1.
Okay. Let's go to now length CD. For CD, it is 94.2 multiplied by 26.17, but negative.
Yes. 2,465.2.
2,462.465.2,
65. 2.
right? But this is negative.
Yes.
Happy? So quickly now let us do summation Li. So for summation Li, what you need to do is add 300 plus 52.33 plus 94.2. Tell me how much is that?
Hmm. 446.53.
446.53.
53.
Let us do summation LIXI with sign. So summation LIXI with sign is 43,425 plus 47.09 minus 22,636. So tell me how much is that?
Yes, sir. 20,836.09.
20,000
836.09.
uh,
0.09.
0.09. Let us do now summation LIYI. So that turns out to be 27,090 plus 1350.1 minus 2465.2.
25,974.9.
25,000
974.9. 9.
So this implies what is X? X is summation Li Xi upon summation Li. Tell me how much is that?
Uh, 46.664.
46.664 mm, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it has turned out to be positive. Therefore, the centroid lies on right hand side of C. Are you with me?
Yes.
And what is Y? Tell me. Summation
One
Li
second.
yi upon this.
1. Yes. 58.17.
58.17 mm. Therefore, centroid lies on above C. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So where is the centroid? यहाँ पे देखो, it is 46 point something on right and 50 point something up. Are you with me? So centroid is going to lie somewhere here.
Yes.
Are you with me? And that
Yes.
seems logical. The centroid is now going to be pulled towards the lens. So where due to this AB, the centroid will be pulled towards right and up. Are you with me?
Yes.
So that's done. So we have located the centroid finally for this one. This is the with this example, I am now going to close the topic of centroid. I have already shared with on Google Classroom the problems that I have solved for the other divisions. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So please do practice of all those problems. Report if there is any discrepancy, error, calculation mistake. अगर कुछ मिले तो बता देना. Are you with me? Okay. Now let us go ahead with the new concept today, and that is equilibrium. Are you with me?
Yes.
The concept of equilibrium I have covered in detail during the lab sessions of L1 and L2 batch. L3 and L4 batch, we will be covering it this Saturday, the remaining part. But apart from that, let me summarize the concept of equilibrium so that we can straight away go ahead with the problems. I'm not going to be go into details of all these concepts, but we will summarize it. So Kunal, what do you think? What is when do you say the body is in equilibrium? Chalo, bolo.
When all the forces are balanced on it.
That you are in which batch? M1, M2 or M3, M4?
M4.
So for M3, M4, it is not been done, but that is the typical notion that we have from 11th, 12th standard physics, that if all the forces are balanced, then we say the body is in equilibrium. No, but that is not the definition, because merely looking at the body, can you observe whether the forces are in balance or not? Kar sakte ho?
No.
No. So equilibrium is not something which needs calculations and then deciding whether the body is in equilibrium or not. No. You will observe the body and you will come to know if the body is in equilibrium or not. So therefore we are going to define the equilibrium first. So what is equilibrium? So let us say this is a body that I have drawn. Shape and size is of no interest to me. This is just a rigid body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is X, this is Y. Coming out of the plane of both towards you is Z. Happy?
Yes.
This is Z. Now coming out of the plane of both towards you is Z. Now if the body during the period of observation does not move along the x-axis, देखो क्या statement कर रहा हूँ. If the body does not move along x-axis, So what is its velocity in x direction? 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And it
Yes.
remains 0. It remains 0. Or if the body is moving in x direction with the velocity vx and it continues to move with velocity vx during the period of observation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Then I say the body is in translational equilibrium as far as x direction is concerned. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is my notion of equilibrium? There are two things that I need to observe. One, is the body at rest? Yes. Does it continue to remain at rest during the period of observation? Yes. That means the velocity was 0 in x direction and it remained 0 in x direction during the period of observation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If that is so, I will call the body is in equilibrium as far as translation along x is concerned. Happy?
Yes.
Chalo. So how do we define translational equilibrium in x direction? The body must possess uniform velocity throughout the period of observation. It may be at rest or it may not be at rest, but it must possess uniform velocity. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Then we say that it is in translational equilibrium as far as x direction is concerned. Now tell me, how many directions should I look for translational equilibrium? कितने directions में होगा? X में हो सकता है, Y में हो सकता है और Z में हो सकता है. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
The body moves with a constant velocity along x-axis. Translational equilibrium in x-axis. Body moves along a constant velocity along y-axis. Translational equilibrium in y-axis. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So on and so forth. Body is at rest in x direction. Still translational equilibrium in x direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So not necessarily the body should be at rest. It should be either at rest and continue to remain at rest, or it should be moving along x, y, or z directions with the constant velocity. And we say the translational equilibrium is achieved. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Let us consider an example. I have thrown a chalk piece. Are you with me? With initial
Yes.
velocity v0. What is the path that it follows to reach the ground? Tell me.
It will go towards the right, up, and then fall down, like a curve, sort of.
What kind of motion is it? Projectile motion?
Yes, projectile.
So projectile motion में कौन सा कर्व होता है? Arbitrary curve नहीं है ये, parabola है. Do you agree
Yes.
with me?
Yes.
So if we neglect the air resistance, it is going to follow the parabola. Happy?
Yes.
Now tell me, during this motion from here till ground, is the body in equilibrium as far as x direction is concerned? Tell me.
Yes.
Why? बोलो कुणाल. So to decide whether the body is in translational equilibrium or along x direction, हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? I will have to look at its velocity in x direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Is it at rest? No. So first category gone. It is not at rest. But what is its velocity? So if initial velocity is v with reference to horizontal at an angle theta, what is its x component? V cos theta.
V cos theta. Yes.
Do you agree with me? And
Yes.
if air resistance is neglected, the horizontal component of velocity will remain v cos theta. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Therefore, the velocity is not changing with reference to time in x direction. So I can say this body exhibits equilibrium in x direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So x direction में translational equilibrium is body का है. Are you with me?
Yes.
So the notion of equilibrium in terms of forces may be very deceiving. Are you with me? So
Yes.
forces नहीं देखने हैं. We have to look at the velocities. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And now, what about y direction? As this object moves along this path, what happens to velocity in y direction?
It will change.
Yes, because of gravitational acceleration g, the velocity in y direction is going to change. Therefore, the body is not at all in equilibrium, in translational equilibrium along y. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And Z anyway we are not bothered about because this motion occurs in XY plane. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So therefore a body may exhibit translational equilibrium along one direction, but that does not necessarily mean that it is in translational equilibrium as far as other directions are concerned. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we have understood what is a translational equilibrium. So if body is at rest, then we say it is static translational equilibrium. Are you with me?
Yes.
So equilibrium में भी types है. कौन से? एक है static. Are you with me?
Hmm.
When the body is at rest along x, y, z directions, I say static translational equilibrium has been achieved. Happy?
Yes.
Chalo. Now, there is another type of equilibrium, and that is rotational equilibrium. Are you with me?
Yes.
So how do I define rotational equilibrium? So imagine that the body is not rotating about, not rotating about x-axis. That means it is at rest as far as rotation about x-axis is concerned. Happy?
Hmm.
Or it is rotating with a constant angular speed or constant angular velocity about x-axis. Then I say the body is in rotational equilibrium about x-axis. Happy?
Yes.
Similarly, if the body is either not rotating about y-axis at all, or it keeps on rotating with constant angular velocity about y-axis, I say the body is in rotational equilibrium about y-axis. Happy?
Yes.
And similar definition is true for z-axis. So how many equilibria? How many equilibria are possible? 6. 3 translational equilibriums and 3 rotational equilibrium. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us write down the conditions. So what are the conditions for translational equilibrium in x direction? Tell me. Bolo. Kunal?
Hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. So Vx should be either 0, happy, or constant. Happy?
Okay.
So Vx should be 0 or constant is the condition for equilibrium in x direction. Translational equilibrium in x direction. Replace x with y and z. You get the conditions for translational equilibrium in y and z direction. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Similarly, what is the condition for rotational equilibrium in x direction? Omega x, angular speed about x-axis should be either 0 or constant. Happy?
Yes.
Then we say, and if you replace this x by y and z, then you get the conditions for rotational equilibrium about x, y, z axis. Happy?
Yes.
Chalo. Quickly, now we are going to move towards Newton's second law. For this equilibrium, let us now apply Newton's second law. Let us say the body is in equilibrium, body is in translational as well as rotational equilibrium in about all axes. Are you with me?
Yes.
If I take summation fx, तो क्या होगा बोलो? On such body, a body is in equilibrium, translational as well as rotational about all the axes. And if I take the summation fx, what should I write? Summation fx by Newton's second law is mass into acceleration in x direction.
Yes.
But what is acceleration in x direction if the body is in translational equilibrium along x? 0.
Yes.
You agree? Because
Yes,
velocity in x direction is either 0 or it is constant. In both the cases, the acceleration is going to vanish. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Constant velocity guarantees 0 acceleration. Happy?
Yes.
So summation fx equal to 0. Now what you are saying is into the picture that forces must be balanced. ये आपने बताया था ना? That is a consequence of what we perceive as equilibrium. हमने इक्विलिब्रियम को इस तरीके से डिफाइन किया है कि बॉडी की वेलोसिटी इन एक्स डायरेक्शन 0 होनी चाहिए या कांस्टेंट होनी चाहिए. व्हाट इज इट्स कॉन्सिक्वेंस? Newton's second law tells me that if these conditions are met, summation fx will be 0. It is a consequence and it is not a definition. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately 11th और 12th standard तक हमें ऐसे सिखाया जाता है that balancing the forces would guarantee equilibrium. No, it's the other way around. We first define what is equilibrium, and as we define equilibrium in this fashion, the consequence of application of Newton's second law is balancing of forces. Are you with me?
Yes.
चलो अब summation Fy लिखते हैं. So what should be summation Fy? It will be mass into acceleration in y direction. But if the body is in translational equilibrium about y, linear acceleration about y is 0. So this has to be 0. Happy?
Yes.
Now I'm going to wind it up. These 2 points we will discuss in next class. Now summation Fz. Similarly, I can say that if the body is in translational equilibrium, summation Fz has to be equal to 0. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So 3 translational equilibriums, 3 equations of equilibriums. These are called as equations of equilibrium. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now let us go to rotational equilibrium. If the body is in rotational equilibrium about x-axis, summation of moments of all the forces about x-axis must be equal to m के जगह आएगा second moment of mass, that is mass moment of inertia, and ax के जगह आएगा alpha x, which is rotational acceleration about x-axis. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
But alpha x will be 0 because omega x is constant if the body is in rotational equilibrium about x-axis. So this is 0. Happy?
Yes.
So summation moment about y-axis is 0 and summation moment about z-axis is 0. These 6 are the equations of equilibrium. Happy?
Yes.
So in equilibrium, the moments and forces are generally balanced. That is the consequence. It is not the definition. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. Now, support conditions and free body diagram. This I have discussed during our lab sessions. Even for L3 and L4, I think I have discussed the concept of free body diagram. Have I?
Yes, sir.
So you know free body diagram, you know supports. So what are the 3 types of supports that I am going to list here tomorrow? And I'm going to just summarize the definition of free body diagram here. I'm not going to explain anything more on this. And then we are going to straight away go on solving the problems based on the concept of equilibrium. Happy?
Yes, sir.
From next class. So let us stop here today. What I am going to do now is I am going to send you the attendance link for today's lecture in the chat box. So just give me a minute. Let me stop recording. Yes.